this is Big TRELL'Z Vlogcast. Hey, don't call it no podcast. Yeah, this is Big TRELL'Z Vlogcast. Hey, don't call it no podcast. Yeah, this is Big TRELL'Z Vlogcast. Hey, don't call it no podcast. Yeah, this is Big TRELL'Z Vlogcast. Hey, don't call it no podcast. Yeah.
What up? What's happening? What it do? Is your boy Big Trell. Big TRELL'Z Vlogcast. Give yourself a round of applause, please. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Clap for yourself. Be your number one cheerleader. Be your number one motivator. Let's get into this video real quick. All right, this is called WatchMojo.com. That's the YouTube channel, WatchMojo.com. The title of the video is called 20 Failed Kidnapping Attempts Caught on Camera. This is very scary. As a person who has grandkids, as a person who has young nieces and nephews, young kids in my family, this is very scary. Even adults, as far as women, this is very scary. So we're going to check this out. And I'm glad that these are kidnapping attempts and not, successful kidnappings. So we're just going to get right into it. It's a pretty lengthy video. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go.
Just minutes ago, we got this video that shows you what happens, how it unfolds. It was all caught on security camera.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 failed kidnapping attempts.
Subscribe to these guys.
This surveillance video that we've been showing you since last night of the attempted kidnapping led to a tip which brought detectives to Vinh Nguyen and led to his arrest.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most spine-chilling recordings of botched abduction.
Look at the
plots.
boldness.
Which of these shocking incidents left you the most terrified? Let us know in the comments. John Marshall Randolph.
And some of them are so bold that they'll just run up and grab the kid and try to take off. Especially, I notice when I see these videos, it's usually with a mom, when the mom is just there. I haven't seen a lot with the mom and the dad. I'm sure it's happened, but they'll just run up and grab them and start running like they're going to run to the car and take off. It is so weird.
Employees at the Coeur d'Alene Parasail in Idaho foiled the attempted kidnapping of a young boy in August 2021. The boy had been approached by a man named John Marshall Randolph.
Man, look at that.
Who tried to take him away in one of the boats.
He looks creepy. Look how he's walking with him, with his hands down. He looks creepy. Like if I was to see these two walking, I already know what the video is about. But if I was there live and I saw them walking, I would be like, that doesn't fit. He doesn't seem like he's with him. It just looks creepy.
Parasail staff, including the owner, Jamin Rodriguez, sensed something was wrong when the frightened boy came up to them and reported that he didn't know Randolph.
Immediately, the kid went around me and kind of hid behind me and stated, "I don't know that man and he's not my dad."
Man.
When confronted, Randolph insisted that he was the boy's father before turning around and walking away.
Then why you walk away?
Rodriguez quickly called the police and followed Randolph to prevent him from escaping.
He's like, "Stop following me, leave and go back to your booth."
Or
And I was
what?
like, "No."
The boy was later reunited with his mother, while Randolph was arrested by police and charged with child enticement.
Man.
Daniel Arroyo Beltran. On March 25th, 2020, Daniel Arroyo Beltran accosted a mother and her 3 children
I
at
seen
a bus
this.
stop in Las Cruces,
I seen
New
this right
Mexico.
here.
Beltran snatched one of the women's children and assaulted her when she refused to give up the others.
At a gas station
I
in
seen
Las
this.
Cruces, New Mexico, a man is trying to steal a pregnant woman's children,
That's
fighting
crazy.
everyone who gets in his way.
She was, however, able to escape from his hold and ran into a nearby store where she hid with her kids. Beltran forced his way into the store, attacking anyone who challenged him. Things could have gone horribly if not for Kanan Bauer, a high school wrestling champ who rushed into the store.
He let him have
and
it.
pinned Beltran down until the police arrived.
It wasn't like a move that I did for practice. I just grabbed him from behind and pulled him down onto his back.
Bauer was hailed as a hero and received international recognition for his efforts. Deidre Gentry.
Okay, not single ladies, but women, ladies with children, single ladies, married ladies, I implore you to get some kind of self-defense tools. Self-defense is not designed to be pretty. Somebody may have to die. But I'm saying, in order to save your life, in order to save your kid's life, if you're afraid of guns and all, I suggest that you go and you educate yourself on guns, learn how to shoot, get you a pocket knife, get you some pepper spray, get you a flashlight. That's what I carry on me all the time. I carry a pocket knife, pepper spray, some kind of knife, right? And I carry my pistol on me at all times. Like, matter of fact, my pistol's right here. My pistol stays by me, even in the house, because people kick in doors all the time, right? So I'm not trying to scare you guys. I just want you guys to be aware. Even men too. Those things will get you out of many situations. Learn how to use them, study them, get educated on them, I should say, and protect yourself. Protect yourself. Protect your family. Like, that would be. Do you know the regret you would have if something happened to one of your kids and you didn't have anything to protect them with? I'm not trying, like I said, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I just implore you to look into something. It doesn't have to be a gun. I suggest you learn how to shoot a gun, but it doesn't have to be a gun. Get something to protect you, because you don't know when crime's going to happen. It doesn't matter if you live in a good neighborhood, a great neighborhood where you can leave your doors unlocked. Everybody, that goes through your neighborhood is not a good person. People travel. So just because your community's nice, people come from outside of the community into yours all the time. Just protect yourself. I don't want to ramble, but just protect yourself, please.
Surveillance cameras outside an auto repair shop in Sacramento, California captured the moment that shop owner Ashraf Ali thwarted an abduction attempt.
I used to live in Sacramento.
The perpetrator here, a woman named Deidre Gentry, confronted two unnamed women who were pushing a baby in a stroller and claimed that the child was hers.
Frantic moments seen in the video as the alleged attacker chases after the two women walking with a baby in a stroller. The stroller breaking free from their grasp, rolling on its own toward Ali's shop as he rushes out to help.
Gentry chased after the two women, only for the stroller to escape their control and roll into the direction of the auto shop. Ali then got in between the attacker and the stroller, preventing her from grabbing the baby.
But Ali says it left the victims rattled.
They are totally scared and they are crying.
What? Oh. I hate to nitpick. You ran away and left your kid. You ran away and left your daughter or your son in that stroller. When this person said, this kid is mine, you let the stroller go. That is crazy. And took off. Okay.
So I said to them, please come in my office. This is my office.
After police were called to the scene, they arrested Gentry and charged her with attempted kidnapping. Sunny Alloway. It's an attempt.
I seen this one too.
It'll send shivers.
That's crazy. Look.
In December 2019, Sunny Alloway was filmed in a New York City train trying to talk to an unidentified woman as she slept.
Around 2:45 a.m., a man dressed head to toe in red tries to get a woman's attention as she sits across from him, hood over her head.
Once the train comes to a stop at the station and the doors open, Alloway grabs the woman and carries her onto a platform bench.
Man,
we're not quite sure what his plan was.
Some weird people, dude.
Thankfully, it never materialized.
The woman manages to escape and runs back into the train, alerting the man she was with, who appeared to be asleep next to her.
The victim was able to regain consciousness and quickly made her way back into the train before it left the station.
So the dude she was with was asleep too. You think they were on drugs? You think they were high or drunk or something? Like, he snatched her quick. Like, what was he gonna do? Man.
Alloway reportedly received a dose of street justice before he was apprehended by the authorities for unlawful imprisonment. Unidentified Argentine men. This grainy footage came from a CCTV camera in Buenos Aires, Argentina. The clip shows a boy, identified only as Sebastian, walking down a lonely street in the middle of the night. A car pulls up beside him, and two men jump out and attempt to drag him into the vehicle. Sebastian wrestles with the two men and is able to free himself from their hold against all odds.
Man!
The boy lets go of his backpack and runs away,
Yep, there you
foiling
go.
their abduction attempt. His would-be kidnappers get back into their car and also flee the scene. It is unclear if any arrests have been made in the case since it occurred in 2017. Vinh Nguyen. Early on a Monday morning in April 2022, a boy was walking to his school in Orlando, Florida when he was approached by Vinh Nguyen. A surveillance camera outside a restaurant captured the moment
Look
when
at
Nguyen
him.
tried luring him into his vehicle.
You see the suspect approach the child and appears to put his hands on the victim before walking out of frame.
He allegedly told the child that he was cute and offered to drop him off at school.
Wow.
Thankfully, the boy declined his offer and continued walking. Nguyen was arrested the following day
That's
after
crazy.
the footage was given to the authorities. It was later discovered that he had apparently attempted to do the same to another child the previous year.
And according to court records, in 2019, Nguyen was arrested at a Colonial Drive sub shop for battery.
Nguyen was brought up on charges of false imprisonment, luring of a child.
That's
and
crazy,
battery.
dude.
Sammy Wallace. A routine shopping trip to the local Walmart took a horrifying turn for Alicia Keating
Yeah,
and her two
I seen
daughters.
this one too. Look how he
While
just
at the
grabbed.
Oklahoma store back in 2013, a man named Sammy Wallace grabbed one of Keating's daughters from her shopping cart and held her at knife point.
A mother and her
That's
two
so
young
crazy.
daughters shopping at an Oklahoma Walmart. Little did they know that man right there was about to strike.
Police who responded to other shoppers' 911 call attempted negotiating with Wallace for the girl's release, to no avail. After about 30 minutes of fruitless negotiations, the assailant reportedly began counting down from 60, stating that he would do the unthinkable when he reached 0.
Wow.
Suddenly, the suspect starts counting down from 60 seconds. Police fear they are out of time.
Believing that there was no other option,
Put one in his
of the
head.
officers stepped up and fired a shot
Yep.
right at Wallace. Thankfully, the girl was unhurt. Henry Oscar Mazariegos Gonzalez. On August 16, 2019, a girl identified as Estella was walking down the street in a California neighborhood when she was accosted by Henry Oscar Mazariegos Gonzalez. The assailant grabbed Estella off the street and tried forcing her into his vehicle.
Surveillance video shows early Tuesday morning, while walking down Rutland Avenue, Estella came face to face with a man in a white truck who police say tried to kidnap her.
Man.
At some point, he reportedly struck her in the head with a hammer.
Damn.
After briefly letting go of the weapon, the brave girl grabbed it and hit Mazariegos Gonzalez, freeing herself from his hold.
I didn't have much arm swing, but I just tried to do what I could.
It was enough for him to let her go, and Estella ran it.
You have to fight. If you find yourself in this situation, being kidnapped, them taking you to another location is not a good thing. So it's either fight. You have to fight for your life. You have to fight for your life, because if you get taken to another location, the percentages, the chances of you coming out alive is not great. So, like me, if I ever got kidnapped, you're gonna have to do me right there. You're gonna have to off me right there, because I'm fighting for my life. Because you're not taking me to another spot. Nope, ain't having it.
And as fast as she could as the kidnapper got back into his white Toyota Tundra and drove off.
Mazariegos Gonzalez remained on the run for nearly a year until he was apprehended by the police on April 19, 2020 in Guatemala. Unfortunately, the culprit never faced justice, as he took his own life in his jail cell before he could be extradited to the U.S. Esther Daniels. 26-year-old Esther Daniels was arrested and charged with kidnapping and obstruction of a police officer on June 22, 2019. Daniels had engaged in a tussle with a married couple at the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport in Atlanta, Georgia, after attempting to abduct their children.
And you can see the family at the top of your screen there, folks. A woman in a pink hat walks up and appears to struggle with her parents, yanking on the stroller.
Like what?
CCTV footage from the airport showed Daniels walk up to the woman.
Like, you're in the airport. Where are you gonna go? You're trying to snatch this kid. You're in the airport. Are you trying to take off with the kid? Where are you going? How you think you're gonna get away with this?
And try to grab a stroller with one of her children in it. After the woman manages to fight her off, she reaches for another child but is interrupted by the father. Daniels tries to make a run for it, but she's taken down by a group of officers, who later put her in handcuffs and led her away.
And police showed up on the scene and arrested the woman. Officers say that the woman appeared to be...
If I was a father, she would have been punched. Like, ain't no gently getting my baby back. She would have got knocked out, because you don't know what this lady's gonna do. You don't know what she plans on doing with your kid. You don't know if she plans on doing something right there, running away. Like, you're getting punched. There's no way I'm just softly trying to get my baby back. You're getting it. God, dog. I'm triggered already.
Experiencing mental distress.
Terry Ransom. This terrifying
seen this
incident
one too.
happened so fast, if you blink, you'd probably miss it.
Look.
On July 1st, 2016, a mother walked into a cell phone store in Victorville, California with her 2 daughters. While she held her infant in
Look
her
at this.
arms, her older daughter played by the candy machine right next to the entrance.
The little girl began playing with a candy machine in the California cell phone store when the man appeared to snatch her.
Then, in a flash, a hand reached through the door and snatched the girl out of the store. That hand belonged to 24-year-old Terry Ransom. Luckily, Ransom lost his grip on the child and she was able to escape right into her mother's arms. The would-be abductor was chased down by bystanders who held him until police arrived.
Yes.
He was charged with kidnapping and child cruelty.
The suspect, Terry Random, was then tackled and held by people until police arrived.
It happens that
He was arrested on suspicion of trying to abduct the girl.
Craig Bonello. For a preteen Florida girl and her mother, this was probably the most terrifying 15 seconds of their entire lives.
A brazen kidnapping attack thwarted by a fierce mother, all caught on tape. The whole scene playing out in a Dollar General store Tuesday morning.
While shopping at a Dollar General store on June 7, 2016, a man identified as Craig Bonello grabbed the girl by her arm and violently dragged her away. Without missing a beat, the girl's mother sprung into action, fighting off Bonello as he tugged her daughter through the supermarket's aisles, all in full view of surveillance cameras.
Her mother doesn't miss a beat. This mom, Ashley Harper, knows exactly what that woman was thinking.
There wouldn't have been, any doubt I would have thrown myself on anybody.
Yeah.
And now I
Of
guess
course.
I have to be prepared to do that.
Bonello eventually let go and tried to make a run for it, but he was blocked by an off-duty sheriff's deputy and arrested.
Eventually, the man letting go, fleeing the store, only to be met in the parking lot by an off.
Dude, I'm so thankful that these kids got away. It's crazy. It's something I want to say, but I'm not gonna say it.
Off-duty officer
who was off duty had pulled into the parking lot just by chance.
He was brought up on charges of kidnapping and child abuse, but was found not guilty by reason of insanity. Nassim Slamang. In September 2020, a video went viral on social media showing the attempted abduction of a child at a restaurant in Johannesburg, South Africa. In the clip, 2 women are seen sitting together with a young girl at the Bella Napoli Italian kitchen.
We were sitting outside and there were other customers here. There was a lady with her.
Oh boy was already on it. Let's go back. As soon as he jumped over, old boy was on it.
Nassim Slamang. In September 2020, a video went viral on social media showing the attempted abduction of a child at a restaurant in Johannesburg,
oh boy already
South
on
Africa.
it. Look.
In the clip, 2 women are seen sitting together with a young girl at the Bella Napoli Italian kitchen.
We were sitting outside and there were other customers here. There was a lady with her 2 kids. And I noticed that there was a guy running.
All of a sudden,
Oh,
24-year-old
look at him.
Nassim Slamang jumps over the railing and lunges toward the
He
child.
choking that fool out.
Slamang's brazen attempt to abduct the young girl in broad daylight was, however, cut short by the restaurant's owner, Vishal Suku.
I don't consider myself a hero.
Yeah.
People see you at the right place at the right moment. And it all comes with preparation. And I think the years of experience in martial arts is what allowed me to react the way that I did.
Suku, a trained martial artist, immediately tackled the culprit to the floor, placing him in a chokehold while one of the women secured the girl. Slamang was swiftly arrested by police and charged with multiple counts of assault and attempted kidnapping.
The court has heard the suspect has an outstanding warrant of arrest and a string of previous convictions.
Timothy Todd Milner. The tremendous efforts of a gas station cashier and customer made the difference between life and death for a woman in Coweta County, Georgia.
Deputies call it courageous, the quick actions of this store clerk and a customer at a convenience store off Interstate 85 in Coweta County last Friday.
Surveillance footage from the convenience store showed the woman and a man, later identified as Timothy Todd Milner, walk up to the counter.
Deputies say she asked the store clerk for a telephone in an attempt to call for help.
The woman was reported to have quietly asked the cashier for a phone.
So
but after being handed one, Milner grabbed it from her and threw it on the counter. He then dragged her out of the building and into his truck parked outside. Noticing the ordeal, a stranger quickly took a picture of Milner's license plate, which aided in police locating him.
Very brave, very courageous, very helpful.
Wow.
They could have gone about their day, and this lady would have been somewhere she didn't want to be with someone she didn't want to be with.
Upon his arrest, Milner was charged with kidnapping, false imprisonment, and battery. Nathaniel Rodriguez. Most of us do not know how we would react if we ever came face to face with a dangerous criminal. But Philadelphia convenience store clerk Manveer Comer knew exactly what to do in that situation.
At first glance, you might not
I've
realize
seen this
anything's wrong here.
I think I've seen this one.
Is an alleged crime in progress.
While working the overnight shift on November 11, 2015, Comer stopped the apparent abduction of a doctor by a supposedly armed criminal named Nathaniel Rodriguez.
Man.
Rodriguez allegedly kidnapped the lady and was attempting to withdraw money using her debit card.
He forced her to withdraw money from ATMs around town. Watch as they pull into this gas station and walk into the convenience store. The suspect gives a friendly wave to the clerk before they go to the ATM.
Footage from the store's cameras showed Comer leaving the counter and confronting Rodriguez just as the two are about to exit. The suspect then fled the scene in the victim's car, but was later tracked down and arrested after making use of her phone.
Comer.
The
Good
clerk
job.
confronts the suspect, who you see reach into his jacket as if he has a weapon. The suspect then flees in the woman's car. Back inside, the clerk gives the woman a bottle of water. She's shaken but unharmed.
Santiago Salcedo. On October 11, 2021, a woman was walking by a gas station in the Bronx with her 3 grandchildren when a man approached them.
The attempted abduction was captured on surveillance video, which police used to track down the suspects.
Partially covered in a blanket, the man suddenly grabbed one of the toddlers and took to his heels. Initially torn between the capture.
Man, if you don't get your funky hands off me, wrapped in a blanket, where was he going? I know people have issues mentally. Where was he going to go? You're doing it in broad daylight. You're not outrunning anybody with a kid in your hand. Not far enough for you to get away.
Captured girl and the other 2 boys left with her. The grandmother eventually chased after the abductor.
Her grandmother panicking and screaming for help while chasing him as the girl's younger brother stood by, terrified.
Well,
other bystanders joined in, and they soon cornered the man. Later identified.
Hey, that was an old lady. He was getting away. He was getting away, but I'm glad he didn't. Yeah, I didn't realize it was a grandma.
As Santiago Salcedo.
Yeah, he was getting away.
He lets go of the child. After riding away on a scooter, police later caught up with Salcedo, who was reported to be homeless, and arrested him. He was arraigned on charges of attempted kidnapping and unlawful imprisonment.
That's kidnapping.
Literally a couple of people who chased the guy and who helped us with the police.
Once you grab him and move him, that's kidnapping.
I would like to take them.
And this Bronx mother says that there is not enough thanks in the world that she can show this group of good Samaritans.
Thomas Woods. Georgianne Baxter was at a Walmart in Bremen, Georgia with her daughter Brittany when her worst nightmare nearly became a reality.
And the video is stunning. A little girl fighting a grown man allegedly trying to kidnap her.
Brittany was playing in the toy section by herself when she was grabbed by 25-year-old Thomas Woods.
And then he just jumped me and went and ran off.
Woods, who had just been released on parole after serving prison time for manslaughter, was captured by surveillance cameras getting into his car and driving away. Police were able to use this footage to track him to his house, where he was arrested in
Now you finna get the business when you go to jail. When you mess with kids, one thing about the prison system that I love, and it might be cruel, when you a predator, a pedophile, any of those, and you messing with kids, you get the business. And I love it.
less than an hour.
Police arrested 25-year-old Thomas Woods, who was recently released from state prison out on parole for manslaughter.
Crazy. Although he denied even being at the store, Woods was charged with attempted kidnapping. James McGonigal. It's always particularly shocking when an attempted child abduction not only occurs in broad daylight, but also right in front of their parents.
It's quick. And say, oh my God, my kids, please.
That was the case of Jacob Diaz, who was walking
Look at
down
the kids
street
fighting
with his
too.
mom, Dolores Diaz Lopez, and two
Yeah.
siblings. Diaz was slightly ahead of the rest when a man jumped out of a parked car and snatched him just a few feet away from Lopez.
Dolores Diaz says the men said nothing to her and she doesn't know them.
The quick-thinking mom and her other kids immediately ran after the man, 24-year-old James McConnell, and successfully
Look at the kids.
retrieved
Like, nope.
Diaz through the
What
front
you doing?
passenger window. McConnell was able to flee the scene in his car, but he was later arrested by police on charges including attempted kidnapping and reckless endangerment.
One of them, the driver, has been arrested and was taken to the hospital for a psychiatric evaluation.
Nah, you
the
ain't
other,
crazy.
The passenger is still outstanding, and police believe the two may be father and son.
Manuel Towns. It looked like something out of a Hollywood action movie. 25-year-old Brittany Diggs had already been abducted at gunpoint by Manuel Towns, who had repeatedly threatened to kill her.
It was like, well, since you don't have any money, you're going to help me get money.
Towns forced her into the trunk of her car and drove around in hopes of using her debit card to take out cash. This led him to a gas station in Birmingham, where he seemed to have withdrawn money from the convenience store ATM.
Brittany says panic was setting in.
My biggest fear was he was going to drive this car into a river and I'm going to drown here and nobody's going to know I'm in this trunk.
As Towns returned to the car and slowly pulled out of the parking lot, Diggs popped the trunk using the interior latch and bolted into the store. The Alabama nursing student made it to safety, and her captor was arrested by police about a week later.
A jury convicts Manuel Towns of several charges, including kidnapping, robbery, and 2 counts of fraudulent use of a credit card.
Derek McPherson. The doorbell camera at the Nash family house in Ohio captured the attempted abduction of one of their daughters in 2022.
So proud of her, because as soon as she screamed, he let go. So obviously, you know, it does work.
Kennedy Nash was taking out the trash when a man identified as Derek McPherson approached her and grabbed her by the arm. The young girl let out a piercing scream, prompting McPherson to release her and quickly walk past.
The whole encounter lasting less than 10 seconds. As Kennedy pulled away and screamed, the man quickly letting go.
Kennedy rushed back into the house and relayed the incident to her dad, Ricky, who got in his car and chased down the culprit. He was later taken in by authorities and brought up on charges of abduction and inappropriate grabbing. Ricky's swift chase may have secured McPherson's capture, but it was Kennedy's quick thinking that prevented the tragedy altogether.
McPherson appeared in a Butler County courtroom where he has been indicted on 2 counts of abduction and unlawful restraint.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into settings and switch on your notifications. Jared Paul Stenga. This terrifying footage from a street surveillance camera in Florida showed the exact moment young Allison Banal was nearly abducted.
This shocking video has been played thousands of times across the country.
Banal was waiting at a bus stop on the morning of May 18th, 2021, when a white minivan parked just beside
Kids aren't
her.
even safe out
The driver
there
of the
waiting
vehicle,
for school.
Jared Paul Stanga, was captured running toward Banal and grabbing her as she attempted to scurry away.
She fought and she
She
fought,
fought,
and
yeah.
she fought until finally she was able to break free.
Stanga, who was reportedly wielding a knife, was unsuccessful as Banal fought tooth and nail to regain
There you
her
go.
freedom. According to the young girl, she was inspired by Law & Order SVU to rub the blue slime she had been playing with on Stanga's arms.
She was playing with blue slime when he grabbed her, and she made sure to wipe some of it on him.
Okay.
That trick gave investigators just the evidence they needed.
This helped police to definitely identify him as the culprit upon his eventual arrest.
Man, woo! What a video, right? That, oh man, it's just so scary, man, to think of your kids not being safe out there. Oh, like I watched, not lately, but I've watched a lot of true crime about, you know, kidnappings, things like that, different murders, you know, kids being kidnapped and deleted, things like, I've seen so much, and it just baffles me what people think when it comes to kids, like how people treat kids. It's so crazy. It has to be something wrong with you up there. I don't like to make always say mental health issues, because I think that's a cop-out, but it does have to be something wrong with you up there to do this thing to kids. But I just want you guys to keep your kids safe. Teach them situational awareness. Teach them when they're coming out of stores, when they're coming out of houses, to look both ways. Teach them to not be in their phone, but look at people as they're passing them, because they catch people off guard. So if you're always on guard, you're not going to see everything. I don't care how aware you are. You can't see everything, but that split second of you seeing somebody walking towards you, that split second can give you enough time to get away, to come up with a game plan or whatever you need to do. So start with situational awareness. Parents, start with some self-defense tools. Doesn't have to be a gun, although I recommend it. Doesn't have to be. And go from there. Sit down and have a talk with your kids and teach them to fight, teach them, things they need to do to keep themselves safe, right? All right. I'm glad that was just a happy ending video, right? So we're going to go ahead and get out of here. This is your boy, Big TRELL'Z Vlogcast. Let's get it. Get it.